Mr. Chairman, I read Richard Hofstadter's The Paranoid Style in American Politics, so I suppose it's futile to try to cure the obsessive persecution complex and victimology of some of our colleagues, but they should check out the top performing Facebook link posts by the United States pages today, or yesterday, or any day for the last week, and 7 or 8 out of the 10 each day are right-wing sites: Ben Shapiro, Fox News, Dan Bongino, Ben Shapiro, Fox News, Blue Lives Matter, and so on. So if Facebook is out there trying to repress conservative speech, they're doing a terrible job at it. And so I don't understand just the endless whining about how Facebook and Twitter, or Facebook and Twitter, are somehow discriminating against conservatives. The removal of Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. From Twitter, their tweets, was all about their spreading disinformation, false statements about COVID-19. That was an absolute public health measure, which I hope all of us would endorse. We don't want anybody, including the President of the United States, spreading false information about COVID-19. So I think they essentially destroy their own case when they pick that as their cause for going after all of you. And I don't understand for the life of me the line of questioning about electioneering taking place by some of your companies. If you're opposed to electioneering by corporations, as I am, and you're opposed to Citizens United, then you've got no problem. Citizens United is what gave corporations the power to go out and spend money. And if you don't like the way that some companies are spending money, then either start your own company or tell them what's wrong with it. But the idea that electioneering is something you're opposed to just strikes me as completely inconsistent with the history and the facts. So I want to go to Mr. Cook, if we could. But first, a quick question. Are any of your companies benefit corporations, and is that something you've considered doing? Is there any one of you that have thought about becoming a B Corp or a benefit corporation? Okay, I take it the answer is no there. Mr. Cook, I'm hung up on this whole 30% question that several members have talked to you about, and you said sometimes it's 15%, sometimes it's 30%. Can you explain when it's 15 and when it's 30, and why it's 15 sometimes and why it's 30?
Sure. Thank you for the question, Congressman. In 84% of the time, it's 0. 16% of the time, it's 15 or 30. In the case of it's 15 if it's in the second year of a subscription.
Okay, so you just graduate from your first year, you're taking no toll, essentially. The second year, it's 15, and then it's 30 after that. Is that right?
No. If it's a subscription product, it's 30% in the first year, and then it drops to 15 in the second year and every year thereafter.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, what troubles me is just what one businesswoman told me when I was looking at this, which is she said, I pay around 25% of my income to Uncle Sam, to the government, and then I pay 30% of my income to Apple, and so I get half of it, and it's very hard to make ends meet. And I just wonder, and look, all of you are in business and all of you are tremendously successful at what you do, and obviously this model has worked for you. But the question is, does this model actually squeeze out the next generation of entrepreneurs? And is it an unjust arrangement because you're, the 10,000-pound gorilla and they're just trying to get started?
No, I don't think so. In fact, keep in mind, we've gone from 500 apps to 1.7 million. And so there's a lot of apps on the store, and a lot of people are making a very good living from it.
And you've said that, forgive me for interrupting, but you've said that several times, but that to me might just underscore the monopoly nature of your business, that everybody's got to go through you. There's really no alternative. And so, I don't blame you for taking them all, but that doesn't mean that the terms that are being dictated are in fact fair terms. So how would you defend substantively that bargain?
that whether you look at it from a customer point of view or a developer point of view, there are enormous choices out there. If you're a developer, you can write for Android, you can write for Windows, you can write for Xbox or PlayStation. If you're a customer and you don't like the setup, the curated experience of the App Store, you can buy a Samsung.
Okay, I appreciate that. Forgive me for cutting you off. I've got one more final question for Mr. Zuckerberg. You spend a lot of your time speaking to our conservative colleagues who have this persecution complex that you're somehow going after them. Will you have time to meet with this broad coalition of civil rights groups that are engaged in a boycott because of what they think is the proliferation of hate speech and Holocaust revisionism and other affiliated topics on Facebook?
Congressman, yes, I already have taken the time to meet with them. I think that the topics that they're pushing on are important. On a lot of the goals, we agree. These are issues around fighting hate that we have focused on for years, and we are committed to continuing to improve the way that our company works and just continually getting better on these issues.
I appreciate that, and I will tell them of your answer. Thank you.
Thank you.